But now while we have the one shirt on, the one shirt. Actually, it's based on Haragorn's shirt, so it kind of works. We're going to do this from the mouse and Kindness. So Kindness is probably doing it. So if we say fools on the left wing, okay, it's just because we're doing on the left at the moment, so that's what we're doing here. There's so many sequins on this floor still from when. They're just around the edges where the vacuum cleaner again. It's from when I did June season. What? Oh, come on. I'm not arranging my live on bed. I look at where it is. Grateful bastard. And any of these. Kill. Just use this one. Hermione! Hermione! That's the one. Yes, I know. You're going to be singing that all day now, aren't you? Sorry. Blame my friends at school. Yes, they became huge friends of the puppet pals, sad to say. Maybe just a couple, let's say. Hello again! It's you. Yes, this is dress, so yeah. Okay, maybe not that high pitch. Bit of better. What it's doing. Oh damn, I forgot to do the sword bit in the end, didn't I, for him being a soldier? Oh no. Doesn't matter. I'll have to be wearing the same shirt again next time, so I'll have to make a note. I'll be doing it then. So. Because what I'm saying is the most important thing. Right. Like this, sometimes do too much at once, that's the problem. I just realised I've been phenomenally stupid. Because I did do these little speeches around it. Isn't he there the rest of the time? Pretty sure he is. Oh yeah, because I need to do all his bits of to Hermione. Okay, so here we are again. Another day. I do enjoy making these films, obviously, or I wouldn't do it, but sometimes it does feel like I get down here and I'm like, I was only here a couple of days ago. I'm doing another one.
It's mine.
Yeah, I was going to stick with I was trying to do the videos every fortnight, but then I didn't, and I decided to do them every week. I don't know why, really. But I'm having a debate about what the hell I'm going to be wearing. Because I'm trying to avoid wearing the one shirt over and over again. There's only 3 people in this scene, so it should be fairly simple. But if they're all wearing the same shirt, it's going to get totally confusing. I mean, I try and do things. I turn the cuffs back sometimes to try and make it a little bit different, but I know it doesn't really work. Quite honestly. We've only got one other outfit, you see, which is for a sort of Tudory prince. And I was thinking, when I do King Lear Device's Kingdom, which is coming up, I was thinking I would have him wearing that, because he can wear the coat and the hat and everything, and make a whole kind of, the whole look. But for this part, obviously, it specifically says about how he doesn't have a hat on, and I'm assuming he hasn't got a coat, so he's getting quite wet in the rain. Which, by the way, is a bit of an irony, isn't it? Every flipping day lately, I've been trying to do my filming and I have a massive background of rain. Look at the weather today. It's practically sunny. Which is just typical, isn't it? Because the one day where actually it would have been quite good if it was raining, because it would have given the correct sound effects for this piece. So of course it hasn't rained for days. Which I think is just typical, quite frankly. Is this light plugged in? Probably not. Oh, it is. Well, how can it be? Because the heat is also plugged in. That shouldn't be possible. Unless... yeah, somebody's unplugged these camera lights. Exactly. Oh, for goodness sakes. Who did that? Well, I don't know. Who uses this studio? There we go. Okay, that actually makes sense, come to think of it. Because then the heat's on when we're not. Because that's the heater that stays on to prevent this place being freezing cold when you come down to... Okay, right, so back to our costume debate. The problem is, for this scene I have, because I thought that made sense, there's a certain amount of continuity. So King Lear is wearing the same outfit he was earlier, but without the coat and the hat now. But the problem is, the sort of undershirt of it, as it were, is kind of done to look like a sort of chainmail or something, and I'm not quite sure why he's wearing that. Why he's dressed like he's sort of going into... thinking of going into battle, I don't know. Also, I can't find it. Oh, where's it gone? No, these were all our dress. I thought it was at that end anyway, but I just... looks like... what is in there? Angel's dress, princess... ah, there we go. Gotcha. Okay, so I could put that on for King Lear. But then that still begs the question, what's the fool going to be wearing? Because, I mean, yeah, if you're wearing any bloody thing, I'm quite tempted to just have him just literally wearing what I'm wearing, because he's such a fool. He's the only person who thought to put a jumper on before coming out. Yeah, I mean, he just needs a jester's hat, and I don't have one, so that's great. I do have lots of fun hats, but not like that. Okay, should we get King Lear done first? So we can do that before we start. Needing a lie down. Well, unfortunately, I do have issues with standing for any length of time. Alright, as long as I'm moving about. Standing still is what I can't do. Now, I mean, does this look too weird? That for some reason he's, you know, he's wearing this. No, I think I'm going to distribute the funds to him. Yes, because I don't because I have any money in here. I do it because I don't use money. It's just not something I do. But like I have some. Oh, I see what I'm going to do. Let me check that one. Used. And then finally, he's going to offer to buy it. Okay, I hope that will make sense when I come back to edit it. Because I think it will work. Painting cream in the head again. Possibly. It's a much better version of the song, honestly. Every night in my painting cream, I'm a grateful tear, Beethoven. I know you. He moved, and there was a gap between us. I showed you. Yes. Oh. Check it out if you have a heart valve. You open the door to yes, in chorus with me. And I will be in my bowels. Have I watched this video too often? I know the words. The last blue can't touch time, and the last one is incredible. I participate without accessing anything. Love like I loved you, one will be the way of truth. We always make progress in my life. The area around the place, not far from boring. I believe my heart will last. So, unlock the door. If this fate to escape my doubts. My heart knew the rest time. Is it bad that I know these things off the heart? Well, they're fun. So, okay, I think this works. That he's gonna. Yeah, he's not dressed up. Okay, but that what the hell? It's not. It's also not he really. But what the hell? Let's not quibble. So, he's saying yes, they're tested in cold water. Yes, they are tested in cold water. Do you know what he really needs is a bottle of hair dye at this point, which I'm not sure of because I may have a few grey hairs. I have to. I'll get it and I'll come back to that. And then we're going to generously offer him 30p, I think, because that's what I happen to have in my pocket. I don't carry much, like, seriously, where even takes cash is what has done for some time, so I don't have any. I haven't been out anyway, so, but I mean, I don't use it, so. Is it a sad cry? Speaking of which, I didn't do the rest of the country but sad. I'll do that. Getting my painting green. Behave. Stop singing. Then she put her on the bed. Okie dokie now. No, he did know to anyway, didn't he? You were a soldier. So I think this is an enormous crime scene. I was thinking you might have a crime scene. I can't show the person's insurer. Yes, which means that I don't shoot people with it, but never mind. I might. Yeah, what something carries yes. Because then he did hide yourself. Because he's going to be below the audit trail. Okie dokie, so he goes on to the chalk peak, doesn't he? So, oh, I guess I didn't do that on the other one. I don't know if I did or not. And then tell me about those awesome people. Well. So, he did no head, which he did. And he did something that sent a storm, and you're changing it. So, we should probably do hell is hell here. And you're still. Okie dokie. This prophecy is based on Merlin. I live in their basement. And we hit the bite. But I do think it would probably be husband hairline. So funny that I may have to run and get it quickly. Always the one. Always one. You carefully go through the script, thinking of every prop you might need, how you could, add to it. Oh, what would add to that? Bit of visual. And then, you think you've got everything. And then it's only when you start doing it, there's always one bit where you think, oh, I should have such and such. And you've actually got it, but you think, yeah, but I've got to go back to the house to get it. Okay. Because I realise Kent says, sorry, not peculiar, says to him, so about leaves the grey hair, doesn't he? Oh, where the hell he says it now? But I know he does. Oh yes, leave my grey hair off. Permanent brow, yeah, okay. Anyway, so here's the form again. A bit wrong in the accounting, which you can do. So how many wigs have I got which isn't necessarily used for fairies? Did I use that for fairies? Oh man. You see, some of the fairies did end up with relatively sensible ones, didn't they? Because they used... Yeah, I mean, we could go with it like that. Well, it's because I came up with this bright idea about how to do the mechanicals, because it's always a problem when you have a scene which technically has a lot of blokes in. We have issues, because my mother, as we've said before, doesn't do men, costume department, so consequently we've got, it's actually one man's shirt, and then we've got the chainmail kind of effect one with a nice coat. So I was sort of hoping by the time I got onto one of these, of course, I originally started planning this out, which was December last year, that by this point there might have been a possibility of borrowing costumes from the theatre, which of course has remained closed almost all year, so it's obviously not been possible. So you have to kind of accept, well, we don't have costumes for these because, unless obviously we decide that we're doing gender blind Shakespeare, they're all women, which is fine. I mean, no reason why we can't do that, but yeah, we still get a bit of an issue. And then if they're all wearing different dresses, it can be a bit odd anyway. So anyway, what I thought I might do with this, just a sort of idea that occurred, So I thought, well, maybe, because quite honestly, it's not warm today. It is November, after all. And I didn't massively feel like getting changed into lots of different dresses anyway. And I came up with this bright idea. Well, how about all the mechanicals kind of, they're just all dressed in, just all in black. There's kind of, you know. And then, isn't this a sexy look? I know, don't you think? Oh, I think I can pull it off. Synchronised swimmer look. Anyway, I thought, well, how about, yeah, they're just all dressed in black, so they're, and then Selma part, they've all got a different wig on. Because I've got all these fun wigs, which don't get enough of an airing. And I've got, oh, that's a bright eye. And we've got lots of brightly coloured fantasy ones and whatever. You know, that would really help you tell them apart. And it seemed like a good idea, but then I thought, yeah, because I always overthink things, so I make them complicated. Well, no, but I then thought there is a problem with that, in that this obviously, this is from A Midsummer Night's Dream, and there's quite a lot of bits from A Midsummer Night's Dream that I've got down on my list to do at various times, so much so that I'm ended up doing quite a bit of the play. So I had this vague idea when I was looking at it that you know, eventually you'll be able to sort of run these together and you can basically watch the whole play. So it would be good if they did have some kind of internal consistency so that they sort of go together. And I did try to do that when I did the Two Among the Fairies bits, because like I had Puck wearing mostly the same outfit. He had the same wig and the same makeup and everything when he was in both, and the same with Titania and Oberon. Obviously they were, you know, they're in the same costumes and everything, so that they did sort of make sense that they went from one to the other. So I then thought, well, hang on. If I put a load of fantasy wigs on these ordinary human beings, isn't that going to kind of devalue the fact that I had all the fairies in fantasy wigs to make them look fantastical and fairy-like? And oh, there's a squirrel on next door's lawn. Hello, Scree. I'm sorry, humans are such bastards. Yeah, they've taken them off the register of like native species, basically. So people are going out killing them because they're not native. I mean, how long do you have to live here to be native? I mean, how many generations of squirrels have you been here? It's disgusting. Yeah, you wait, it'll be the humans next, don't worry. I haven't lived here 50 generations, oh, we can go over there. This is what people get like, you know. Human beings are not nice. Anyway, it's ridiculous, because apparently it's all that grey squirrel's fault that our red squirrels are dying. Nothing to do with the fact that red squirrels only really live in coniferous woodland because they eat pine cones. You see what that grey squirrel is eating there? An acorn. Yeah, you get a lot of acorns in oak forest. Red squirrels don't digest acorns. So it's nothing to do with them innocently carrying squirrel pox. It's not their fault anyway. But it's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the fact they live in different habitats anyway. We never had a massive coniferous forest base over Surrey anyway. But even when we did have enough to support some red squirrels, we chopped it all down and replaced it with timber forest into City's woodland. So killing the grey squirrels will make a slight bit of difference. You can't bring back red squirrels. It's the humans' fault, not the grey squirrels. Well, I mean, it's the humans' fault the grey squirrels go as well. But it's not their fault. They are not the main culprits for killing off red squirrels. That would be us. As usual. It's always humans' fault. stop ranting about straws now? How does that look? I mean, it looks totally ridiculous, but it's meant to. Everyone has to start by pondering the ancient question, don't they? I feel like he has a piece of paper because he's reading off the parts, so he should actually have. So he can just the script. Good. Look at these wee itches. Just saying. Now I know this is actually a wig I wore for fairies, but I thought maybe if I tucked it all back a little it wouldn't be so obvious. So you can't see how long it is. Oh, I know the answer. I'll do it. Who are you going to be? Would it be cheeky to make them if you didn't want to have blonde hair? I had blonde hair when I was little, you know. Let's try. Play great Elsa wig for reasons that are not entirely. Did I wear this one when I was being in my sort of Galadriel dress, or did I wear? Because I honestly can't remember if I wore this one or I wore the one. We've got one that's like a Galadriel wig, but I was wearing the Galadriel dress, and I think because I have a feeling that I thought, oh, do you know what? It's going to be a little bit too Galadriel if I do wear both. So I think I might have worn this one. But if I did, it doesn't matter. This is... I've lost track of it. It's the one who plays the lion. No. Okay. He doesn't do a fat lot. We'll put in some roots into this. So what have we got next? An engineer and a producer. So Robin Starr, he must come. This must be the one that comes out stud in this, mustn't he? Okay then. How much is all this costing me? That's what I want to know. No, the lions are definitely out. Way too much insurance. Now only lose one. Still to do. Engineer chatter. Things won't take so much longer than you do it. Thank you. Where did it go? This one? Then again, it might be. We're getting the wigs off. Sort of everything. No, I'm not stopping to style them or anything. That's because everyone looks rough anyway. But hey, yes, this was the one everyone wore, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, Peter Quince. Must be annoying, but we'll constantly get his name wrong. This is the trouble with filming in the winter. So I just finished doing my Pride and Prejudice. I've now packed up, and of course, when I turn that heater off, yeah, it's dark. Oh well. I know the way, I'm sure. Well, look who's come to see us. We can never do any filming without you for company, can we? You just put this away. Hello. Ooh. Let me get your thoughts, sir. That's usually your thought, isn't it? Yes, I won't turn the camera on you now. That's not a good view, is it? Oh, that's better. Did you see your pretty face? Yo. I'm camera shy. Side view. Yeah. Oh, I need to do a bit of beading. Don't I? Yeah, for Mum's Christmas present.